Matt Lorry cars receiving with provision attempt to Sth Grafton now moves on to the 6th place, Clarence Magpies.
Go, Matt. Go, Matty. Go, Matty.
Conversion of check to retain 5 unsuccessful by Matt Lorry. Now moving on to 10 points, Clarence nil.
Keep talking the line up. Take it easy, Hook. Wally, sit next to Gary. Don't go back and forth, play one way. Chase, Paulie, chase. Get him on. Kick the bloody thing down the middle! Go Wally, warm up! Up we go, yeah! Give it to 5! Send it out to 5! There's a go! 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 Good on you, water boy. Who do we play next? Look around, I can see you. With us. Don't worry about it, Al. He's offside! Don't let him score, Ken. Don't let him score.
Tackles out!
Let's go!
She was looking for you. I said, "This is a good salt balance. Yeah, the best salt." Well, that's right. For which the balance must be not balanced. Man, stop. Hit my son.
Get him next week. Push up! What's up, Gary? Stay out! Gary! Come the point, for us! See that coming, they're coming! Stand up. Shut up. Move out! Move out! Fist out! Go, Jack! Run Wally on! Everyone run through! Get in there! Dual ball!
Vernon's moving up now. Put him in the forward. Good try, Gardy.
Up in, Mark.
Bring it wide. God, you took that. Tell us two, will you? Where's Ryan? Come back here.
The conversion attempt by Technical Team was successful. Last round 6, Sth Grafton 42.
The search began in appalling conditions with fading light, rain and low cloud after residents reported hearing what sounded like a plane in trouble.
I heard a plane sounded very low, and was engines were going fairly well at full bore. The next minute there was just no noise, and then a couple of seconds later a sort of low rumble, just like thunder.
Police, ambulance rescue, SES and bushfire brigades set up headquarters at the junction of Moore Creek and Moonby Gap roads with few clues as to where to start.
So maybe up to 3 or 4 miles either side of that.
So where are we now?
We're right there.
The rescue concentrated on the area behind Moore Creek with teams of four-wheel drives battling thick bushland and fog.
There was a loud explosion. The aeroplane has apparently gone down, so at this stage it doesn't look very good.
Given combined eyewitness accounts, rescuers believe the pilot lost sight of the ground in the cloud, then realised he was too low, gunning the engine to get out. A replay of radar tapes has put the plane's last movements at 18 kilometres northeast of Tamworth, and rescuers are confident they're searching the right area.
3 of you go, and use your nose, please.
Yeah, okay.
3 hours after the search began, a breakthrough for rescue teams.
Did you inform Tamworth 2 to continue on to meet the SES? Apparently they have found the wreckage.
The plane was found on a mountaintop behind Stirling Estate. The pilot was dead and police abandoned any further action until morning. But by daylight, improving weather and a clearer picture of the devastation. It appeared the twin-engine Metro had clipped the top of the mountain, carving a 200-metre corridor through trees before ploughing into the rock face and exploding. The pilot standing little chance of surviving such an impact. The wreckage is almost unrecognisable, scattered across a 300-metre area. There were no reports of a distress signal from the pilot before impact, and air safety investigators have been brought in from Brisbane to establish why the plane crashed.
Police say investigations are expected to take some time because of difficulties in positively identifying the pilot. Unemployment figures for February were released today. The national figure remained static at 10.5%, while in New South Wales, unemployment rates fell 0.4%. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the mid and north coasts. In Lismore, the figure rose by 219 to have 4,422 people out of work. Byron Bay is up 2.2%. Coffs Harbour now has 6,033 on the unemployment line. Grafton had a further 136 people unemployed. Port Macquarie rose 3,821 and Taree a 4.3% increase to have 1,133 out of work. For highway travellers, the Greater Taree City Council warns short delays will be experienced south of Taree tomorrow and Saturday. Stabilising and sealing of the road is being carried out. Delays of around 15 minutes could also be expected on the Pacific Highway between Chatham and Cundletown. Booking a New South Wales holiday is set to become less of a hassle following the successful trial of a revolutionary new instant computer booking system in Coffs Harbour. The free sale system, developed by State Tourism Commission and local tourism organisations, promises to help streamline the state's tourism industry.
For many people, the hardest thing about taking a well-earned holiday is the work required to organise a trip. Hours on the phone contacting hotels to check availability and book accommodation, or looking for a good travel agent. For the past 6 months at the Coffs Harbour Tourist Information Centre, a new computer system has been offering visitors a kind of one-stop tourism shop. The free sale system allows operators to access a statewide database of accommodation houses and an inbuilt computer calendar showing availabilities. Once a booking is made, the computer immediately issues faxes to the hotels or resorts and to the person making the arrangements, confirming the details. Initially, the system was viewed with some scepticism by the industry, but is now proving a success.
People feel as though if they give you the property, then they can't sell it themselves. And now people have recognised that somebody else being able to sell the property is a real advantage.
The system has been trialled in 8 cities and towns across the state, Coffs Harbour the only centre on the north coast. In 6 months, it has been used to book more than 300 stays with a value well in excess of $160,000. Not only has it been a bonus for accommodation houses and tourists, the Tourist Information Centre has earned $16,000 in commissions. However, the Information Centre says it's not in competition with travel agents.
Those people that are calling direct wouldn't normally call the travel agent. They would they're shopping around.
The success of the free sale trial has now convinced the state government to expand the system to another 5 centres, including Port Macquarie and the Great Lakes. The government hopes to eventually have the computer system operating at every one of the 68 tourist information centres across New South Wales. Phil Hind in Coffs Harbour, Prime Local News.
Train rides on the north coast are set to shorten following the replacement of rail bridges. $84 million is being spent on upgrading the North Coast rail line, $17 million of that on bridges alone. 9 new rail bridges have already been built and another 22 are under construction. One of the largest to be reconstructed is the old timber viaduct at Sth Grafton, which is almost a kilometre in length and dates back to 1915. When all the new bridges are in place, trains will be able to travel faster along the North Coast line, but State Rail isn't saying how much faster at this stage. Still to come in Prime Local News, radio-controlled koalas go back into the bush and Sth Grafton unveil their latest pride and joy.
Unreasonable doubts, Tess fights an impossible battle. You betrayed me. Against a judge bent on revenge. Could his obsession destroy their case and let a vicious killer go free? It's a conspiracy! Don't miss Reasonable Doubts, 9:30 tonight on Prime.
Where did you learn how to make that? Who showed you how to get that effect? Where did you get that idea from? Published in weekly parts, Creating Your Home helps you choose different colour schemes and different room styles and shows you how to put a room together, right down to the smallest detail. It also shows you lots of ways of giving your home a more personal touch, with all the know-how and instructions you'll need. Don't miss part 1 of Creating Your Home, on sale now.
Northern Rivers Plasterboard, suppliers to the trade or handymen and women with a range of Boral plasterboard products including Hardy's Villaboard and Hardy's Building Products, Bradford Insulation, Insulco Foil Insulation and metal ceiling battens. If you're looking for fancy plaster cornices or ceiling roses, Northern Rivers Plasterboard is the place to go. From Bradford Insulation to plasterers' tools and fasteners and offering delivery from Grafton to Ocean Shores. Northern Rivers Plasterboard, Southern Cross Drive, Ballina and Yukai Street, Yamba.
Your local festival supermarket is now celebrating its first birthday, and as a part of our celebrations, we'd like to thank you, our valued customers, by giving you some of the best value specials ever, like these. 1.25 litre Kirk soft drinks, just 89 cents. 450 gram Sara Lee cheesecakes, only $1.99. And Festival Fresh New Season Delicious Apples, $1.19 a kilo. They're just some of the specials at your local festival's first birthday sale.
We're best and fresh and cost you less. We're Festival.
A Canadian tourist is recovering in hospital following a collision on the Pacific Highway north of Coffs Harbour this morning. The woman in her early 60s was treated at the scene by ambulance officers for multiple fractures and cuts and taken to the Coffs Harbour Base Hospital. The accident happened just before 9 o'clock this morning. Police say the Canadian husband and wife were travelling north along the highway in a rented car when a four-wheel drive emerged from a side street and collided with the side of the vehicle. The force of the impact sent the four-wheel drive into a spin, finishing on the median strip. The woman is in a satisfactory condition in hospital under observation. New boat releases are usually reserved for the likes of Sydney, but tonight we give you a sneak preview of Sth Graft's latest sensation, the 43-foot Calypso. But if you want one, you'd better start saving your dollars now.
Sth Graft is said to be the largest boat building company in New South Wales. Sea trials are being conducted on the latest design, a 43-foot sports cruiser called Calypso. It's the next model up from the Sth 52, which won the Australian Boat of the Year a few years ago. Worth around $750,000, it features the latest electronic injection engines.
It's a total new design. We've spent 3 years in the research and development of this model, and it's culminated into a perfect all-round sports cruiser rig, and you could comfortably water ski behind this boat. It's about 17 tonne all up, about 500-mile cruising range. It's a good performer.
The boat is going to its owner in Port Stephens before being introduced to the public at the Sydney International Boat Show in July. Sth Graft exports all over the world. General Manager Alan Steber says the vessel is geared towards the Japanese market. He hopes to have the model on display at the Tokyo Boat Show next year. Currently, 5 of these pleasure cruisers are on order for local buyers. Mr Steber claims the design is versatile, with a potential market for government departments such as the police. Tracy Walsh, Intari, Prime Local News.
Rather nice. The eyes of koala lovers around the world were on Port Stephens today, and the 2 furry survivors of the January bushfires were the stars. The koalas have been cared for by the Native Animal Trust Fund since the fires and were let go in the bush today. The release is also the start of a research project which will monitor the behaviour of koalas in the wild.
It was a very special moment for the wildlife carers, the day their love and attention came to a fulfilling end for 2 of their patients. Bruce, a full-grown male, was badly singed in the bushfires. Since then, he's been carefully nursed to recovery. It took a bit of encouragement to get him to return to the bush. He survived a bushfire, but the large media contingent was a little overwhelming. But after a quick look around to make sure it was safe, he was up the squiggly gum in no time at all. Just 8 weeks ago, climbing up this tree would have been a very painful exercise for this koala. Her paws were badly burnt. But now Pinky, a female with a very young Joey, latched onto her new home with no trouble at all. And the release brought tears mixed with smiles.
It's great watching her go up there so quick and so confident, especially when she came in, she was so ill. You know, if we hadn't brought her in rescued her from the bushfire situation, she would have died.
Sport now, Paul Gregg, and Paul, yet another Australian representative in our midst.
That's right, Brett. Kim Newby is off to the North American Championships in Canada. We'll talk to her after the break. Also tonight, the future looks a lot better for Group 3 with another team joining the competition.
Friday on the Great Outdoors. Could this be the alternative to aerobics? And Ernie's just clowning around.
Get your act together, Ernie.
And how would you like to win a fantastic trip to Queensland? You can by watching The Great Outdoors, 7:30 Friday on Prime.
Where did you learn how to make that? Who showed you how to get that effect? Where did you get that idea from? Published in weekly parts, Creating Your Home helps you choose different colour schemes and different room styles and shows you how to put a room together, right down to the smallest detail. It also shows you lots of ways of giving your home a more personal touch, with all the know-how and instructions you'll need. Don't miss part 1 of Creating Your Home, on sale now.
I used to think Bayezet was expensive,
But that was before I worked out the cost per wash, because just one scoop does a full load of brilliantly clean washing. So you get 30 washes from this compact 1.5 kilo pack. Now that's double what you get from the same amount of ordinary powder, which means that BioZ actually gives you a low cost per wash. But don't take my word for it. Buy a pack of BioZ and see for yourself.
Where would you find a Ford Fairmont XE gear sedan with T-bar auto transmission, air conditioning and power steering, complete with logbook? This looks and drives great for only $8,990 at Dick Willis Motors, the Jetty End, High Street, Coffs Harbour. That's where.
Save, save, save on super savings at Woolworths. Like 4-litre Richmond ice cream, only $3.99. And Arnott's cream biscuits, just $1.38.
We're the Woolworths fresh food people with super savings for you.
53 members of an Argentinian rugby union club will visit Port Macquarie this weekend. The Gymnasia Tyro Rugby Union Club is from the city of Salta and is currently touring Australia. They'll clash with the locals at 5:30 Saturday afternoon at Port Macquarie Stewart Park and will be in town until Tuesday. Well, there'll be 6 teams in this year's Group 3 Rugby League competition. The new side will be known as Souths. Their inclusion was announced at a meeting of Group 3 officials last night.
Following the demise of the Tyree Old Bar Rugby League Club, a meeting was held to decide the future of the Group 3 competition. Despite suggestions of the Port Macquarie and Warhope team seeking a transfer to Group 2, the competition remains intact for this season anyway.
It was decided by a clear majority that we run a competition in 1994 for 6 teams. Those 6 teams will be Port Macquarie, Warhope, Taree United, Wingham, Fosterton Curry and the new club of Taree South.
The latest addition to the Mid-North Coast League, Taree South Club, consists of Indigenous players invited to participate for the first time. Group 3 President Barry Smith says Taree Old Bar dropping out this season has nothing to do with the lack of interest in the game. He says it was a matter of internal politics that wasn't related to the rest of the group. It was announced at last night's meeting of club officials that matches will be played in firsts, reserves and under-18s divisions.
And we apologise for the pitches there, but still on Rugby League, and the Port Macquarie Rugby League Club is happy with the new arrangements within Group 3. It believes it will remain financially viable this year, but it's sticking by the plan to move to Group 2 in 1995.
We're reasonably happy with the outcome. That there's certainly not 5 teams. We weren't prepared to go along with that. But
Secretary of the Port Macquarie Sharks, John Graham, was happy with the outcome of last night's Group 3 meeting. He's confident the inclusion of Taree South and the reinstatement of the 6-team competition will maintain the crowds. This, coupled with sponsorship, should keep the club in the black.
We've got sponsorship from Prime, and they're going to help us advertise, and hopefully with that, we'll get the crowds back to watch the football. There should be some good games.
The Sharks, however, are adamant that they will pursue the plan to join Group 2 next year. In fact, a meeting to discuss this has been planned for June. Sue Stevenson, Prime Local News.
There's good news for the Casino Racing Club this week, with the highlight of its racing season being telecast to the United States. The Beef Week Cup TAB race meeting will be beamed to America through Sky Channel International. The Beef Week Cup on May 27 will be the first casino meeting to be televised to the international network, and plans are already underway for future meetings to be televised in Malaysia, the Philippines and Taiwan. A North Coast figure roller skater is heading for international stardom. Lismore's Kim Newby has been selected in the Australian team to compete in the North American Junior Championships in Canada in May.
It's a dream come true for 17-year-old Kim Newby, the chance to represent Australia at a major international skating competition. Kim is one of 20 young skaters in the Aussie lineup and is expected to perform well in the North American Junior Championships.
I was very excited. I thought, oh, this is happening to me. Oh, it's unbelievable, and I just can't wait until it happens.
Kim already spends a dozen hours a week at the Lismore rink and several hours working out in the gym. She'll now step up her training routine to be in peak condition before heading to Canada for the championships in May. Kim, who came second at the Australian Championships last year, takes all the Aussie champs' dedication and hard work.
I first put on a pair of skates when I was 8, and I thought, oh, I'll just do it for a bit of fun, and then my mum got me into it, coming to classes for Whiz Kids, and then I just kept on going, and now I'm here today.
The Australian Artistic Committee says Kim was chosen in the Australian team for her ability and potential. She says it's because of the support of her coach.
He's very experienced, Paul Irving. I thought all the training that he puts me through has helped me progress up through the ranks, and now I'm like second in Australia, so I'm really proud.
Kim is looking forward to the opportunity to compete against some of the best skaters from around the world and hopes to be on the world team one day herself.
Yes, and all the very best to Kim, and let's hope that Souths in Group 3 have as much success as the Bunnies did against the Broncos.
Mate, I don't want them to beat the Broncos again. That hurt.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah, righto. Thanks, Paul. Catch you tomorrow. Next, a sneak preview of the weekend weather with Kylie Gillies. And students hit the courtroom, all in the name of justice.
Movie thriller.
More Americans will die.
Find him fast. Heading a superb cast: Peter Strauss, Victoria Tennant, Hal Holbrook. 8:30 Saturday, Under Siege.
Where did you learn how to make that? Who showed you how to get that effect? Where did you get that idea from? Published in weekly parts, Creating Your Home helps you choose different colour schemes and different room styles and shows you how to put a room together, right down to the smallest detail. It also shows you lots of ways of giving your home a more personal touch, with all the know-how and instructions you'll need. Don't miss part 1 of Creating Your Home, on sale now.
Nissan dealers are getting 1994 off to a top start with top cars and top deals. From only $29,950, the sensational new Bluebird LX comes standard with air conditioning, central locking, power steering, power windows, cruise control, power mirrors, AM/FM stereo, alloy wheels, and much more. So hurry in now for great deals right across the Nissan range, because Nissan dealers are ready to deal.
When you need appliances, you want a better range with better service. You've got it all in one at your local Better Appliance stores.
Right now, you'll get double bargains on Avondale ovens and range hoods. Save $100 on this 48cm TV and video, Simpson washer and dryer, an incredible $849. Grab your catalogue now.
Your locally owned Better Appliance stores: Yamba, Ballina, Mullumbimby, Casino and Kyogle.
We'll always treat you better. Guaranteed.
Horn, Australia's #1 brand in sewing furniture, announced the biggest deal ever. This sewing machine and overlocker cabinet is yours for a crazy $299. Yes, $299. This unbelievable sewing cabinet brings all your sewing needs to your fingertips. It has easy storage for both your sewing machine and overlocker. Yes, with the biggest deal ever, you can own the sewing cabinet of your dreams for a ridiculous $299. Yes, $299. Available from a participating Horn specialist dealer near you.
This weather report is brought to you by Ivomec, Poron for cattle. When you grow beef for the world, you need the world's best.
Fine tomorrow?
Yes, it will be, Brett. The last of the showers should clear tonight. And in fact, it was mostly fine today, except for Casino, which had 11 millimetres of rain, Murwillumbah 3 and 1 millimetre fell at Coffs Harbour. However, temperatures did some climbing today. 27 at Ballina, up to 28 at Casino. Coffs Harbour topped 30 degrees today, 29 at Gloucester, and Grafton a range of 19 up to 30. At Kempsey today, 30 also. A trio of 27s for Lismore, Murwillumbah and Port Macquarie, and Taree 32. The prime satellite shows cloud over the eastern bight and Tasman Sea forming due to a low. The low is pushing west to southwesterly winds over most of New South Wales. Isolated thunderstorms will clear the north coast and northern ranges tonight, with drier westerlies pushing through tomorrow. But the dry spell mightn't last long, with a few showers likely to return to the north coast Saturday in the southerly airstream caused by the movement of that low pressure. The interior should remain dry for the next few days. Forecast showers possible on thunderstorms overnight on the mid-north coast, fine. For the northern rivers, possible thunderstorms with light to moderate winds, and in the Hunter, mainly fine and sunny tomorrow. Tomorrow's temperatures 26 degrees at Byron and Coffs Harbour, 27 at Kempsey, Port Macquarie and Lismore. Tidal information: high tide is at 7:44 in the morning, with the low water at 2:05 in the afternoon. So finding up overnight, we'll see how long it lasts, Brett.
We will. Okay, thanks, Kylie. An American couple whose yacht literally exploded around them in the Coffs Harbour boat harbour last week are cutting their losses and returning home. For Carl and Reva Wesson, the explosion meant not only the loss of their prized 13-metre ketch, but the end of a 20-year odyssey sailing the world's oceans.
The
Life of a yachty can at times be a dangerous one. Bad weather at sea, sickness and faulty equipment. Few expect their vessels to explode. However, that's exactly what happened to Carl and Reva Wesson last Friday morning. Carl had just finished rebuilding and cleaning the yacht's motor when a spark ignited fumes, causing an explosion which gutted the cabin and left Carl in hospital with concussion and minor burns. But for the sake of an argument moments before, Reva Wesson could have been centimetres from the detonation.
Grudgingly, I went outside and sat on the deck, and within seconds, the explosion happened.
It saved her life. For the past 21 years, the yacht The Journeyman has been a home to the Wessons. In ports around the globe, they've raised and educated 3 children. Today, for the first time since the explosion, the couple inspected the aftermath.
This is our door, our louver door.
The force of the explosion completely gutted the cabin, blew the roof off and caused major structural damage to the hull. The damage is not only to their boat, but to virtually the only life they've known. In a few weeks, they'll return to Los Angeles for the first time in 10 years, a prospect they're not really looking forward to.
It's a whole different world. Well, we're used to our family on the sea, and land is different, pressures.
As for The Journeyman, it will remain behind in Coffs Harbour. For the Wessons, the boat is a total loss.
There's no way we can fix it. We hope somebody will come along that can. I'd like to see it sail again.
Phil Hind in Coffs Harbour, Prime Local News.
A managed resort on the historic Beltree property in the Upper Hunter could soon be a step closer to reality. Developers of the homestead are currently trying to have the property recognised as a tourist attraction by Scone Council.
The beautiful Beltrees property is already a tourist attraction, boasting a guest house and sports facilities. An application is about to go before council to have that fact recognised and have it designated as a tourism site. If it is, it'll open the way for a managed resort at Beltrees. The exact nature of the resort has not yet been announced, but in stage 1, 20 lots would be subdivided. It's believed investors would be able to build on these lots and have access to a wider managed resort with further facilities. Owners, the White family, say the money raised by the resort would be used to secure the financial future of the Beltrees property. Council will consider the proposal on March 21.
Magnificent. A Year 9 student from Coffs Harbour High School was today sentenced to 7 years in the colonies after a trial that lasted barely 20 minutes. The trial was only make-believe, but it gave students an insight into the workings of 19th century law.
Nowadays it would be considered a travesty of justice, but back when Australia was just a colony, it was nothing for a young wench from the motherland to be sentenced to 7 years transportation to New South Wales. Today, Year 9 students from Coffs Harbour High School reenacted a trial at the historic Port Macquarie Courthouse. The Crown versus Lorraine Thompson was based on a trial in the Old Bailey Courthouse in London.
It's a made-up trial, but it's about a girl who would have offended back in the 1800s in England.
The students were in Port Macquarie to inspect other historic facilities. For their mock trial, they got to dress the part, but not even their enthusiasm for history could make them shed their joggers. It's not the first time the historic courthouse has been used for mock trials, with the courthouse committee eager to host as many school groups as possible. It's not yet certain whether the poor wench Lorraine Thompson will return. She was found guilty of stealing and at last report was on board the ship Sherborough bound for the colonies. Sue Stevenson, Prime Local News.
That's all from the Prime Local News team for the moment. Next tonight, Roger Clemson with 7 Nightly News, and he'll have the latest on the Heathrow Airport mortar attack. Good night.
Roger Clemson. 7 Nightly News.
Staff at a public pool criticised over a teenage girl's death. Calls for baby bouncer nets to be banned after an infant dies. And koalas injured in the bushfires go back to the wild. Good evening. Serious questions tonight about safety at our public pools after the tragic death of a 14-year-old girl. Rebecca Hayne died in hospital weeks after an accident at Hornsby Pool. An inquiry has been told that emergency equipment, which might have saved her life, was unserviced and staff untrained to use it.
Sharon Hasler remains bitter over the circumstances surrounding her daughter's death, saying she was not satisfied that the staff of Hornsby Public Swimming Pool were competent at using the pool's oxygen life-saving equipment. 14-year-old Rebecca Hayne was a champion swimmer. Playing with friends in the pool during a school swimming carnival last year, they weren't alarmed when she started floating face down. She often plays jokes like that, so I didn't pay any attention to her, one said. The alarm was raised when one student touched her lifeless body. Teachers rushed to try and resuscitate her. Pool staff brought out their Oxyviva. An examination of the pool's Oxyviva found it hadn't been serviced since 1989. The face masks had deteriorated, the gas bottle was empty, but even worse, no one at the pool knew how to use it. Ambulance officers arrived 20 minutes later and restarted her heart, but brain damage had already occurred. 7 weeks later, Rebecca died. At this stage, pool staff don't have to keep or know how to use Oxyvivas, only mouth-to-mouth and heart massage. The Oxyviva requires a fair degree of training to know how to use it, the first paramedic on the scene said. Hornsby pool staff have since received that training. The inquest continues tomorrow. Mark Burley, 7 Nightly News.
A teenage boy is in a serious condition in hospital after being hit by a government bus near his inner city school. The 16-year-old boy was run down as he walked across this roadway at Moore Park this afternoon. Ambulance paramedics treated him for head injuries before rushing him to St Vincent's Hospital. Police have interviewed the bus driver and are continuing their inquiries. Calls for a ban on one of Australia's most popular childcare products following the death of a tiny baby. A health expert has questioned the safety of bouncinettes after what appears to be a case of strangulation.
There are many thousands of them in homes around Australia, but now there's concern over the baby bouncinette. In Adelaide, an 11-week-old baby girl died in her bouncer. It's believed she choked after slipping down. The waistband caught under her chin. At a coroner's inquest today, a South Australian health official called for bouncinettes to be banned, saying they're not safe for babies under 3 months.
I can see how a strangulation death would occur if the child managed to get their feet around the side of it and move down, and I am very concerned about this issue.
The New South Wales government says it will consider any recommendations made by the coroner.
I think in the huge majority of cases they're used sensibly, safely and very happily by both the babies and their families.
Sydney's Camperdown Children's Hospital reports 12 injuries a year relating to bouncinettes, mostly fractures when the bouncer falls from a table or similar height. The injuries far fewer than those caused by other nursery equipment like cots, strollers and high chairs. Felicity Moffat, 7 Nightly News.
Police Minister Terry Griffith's future is in the balance tonight as the 3 state independents examine evidence against him. Labor is moving for a no-confidence vote over parking police quotas, and the Premier's support for Mr Griffiths now appears lukewarm.
After the embarrassing revelation that parking police are working to quotas, under orders to book 10 cars every shift, a public relations panic in King's Cross today. But who gave the order to change the sign? Police Minister Terry Griffiths says he knows nothing.
I have absolutely no knowledge of the incident whatsoever.
But the new look came a few minutes after independent MP Clover Moore joined the attack on the minister. She represents King's Cross and Darlinghurst, where serious crime is a way of life.
We have increased crime, increased drug trafficking, increased prostitution, and yet you have the police concentrating on collecting parking fines. I think it's an appalling situation.
And the locals have got the message.
Excuse me, ma'am, have you got your 10 quotas in for the day or what? No. She's already booked me, and I'm not very happy, but at least she keeps her in a job.
Labor will try to bring down Terry Griffiths with a no-confidence motion next week. It'll need the support of all 3 independents to succeed.
That either Mr Griffiths should resign or the Premier ought to sack him.
And today, the opposition revealed Mr Griffiths had reintroduced cautioning of juveniles who steal cars, a reversal of the government's threat to jail car thieves. Jim Marr, 7 Nightly News.
Meanwhile, Terry Griffiths has offered a $50,000 reward to help catch Sydney's Pizza Hut killer. The police minister says community outrage over the shotgun murder of teenager Michael Maslow led to the early posting of the reward. The 18-year-old delivery boy was gunned down outside the Janelli Pizza Hut 10 days ago, but homicide detectives still have no firm leads. The death of another young pilot has sparked alarm over freight and courier plane crashes in New South Wales. The 23-year-old came down in bad weather on a bank run in the state's north.
Just after 5:30 last night, the plane came down in hills 18 kilometres north of Tamworth. It was raining at the time.
It sounded very, very low, and the next minute there was just no noise, and then
a couple of seconds later, a sort of low rumble, just like thunder.
Searchers battled through the bush for 3 hours and then...
Apparently they have found the wreckage.
The aircraft slammed into this rock and exploded into flames. It was a 12-seater Metroliner. The 23-year-old pilot was from Bundaberg in Queensland. He was flying bank documents from Armidale to Tamworth. There's a growing concern in the aviation industry about the number of young pilots losing their lives in these circumstances. A 26-year-old pilot died on this bank run in the Hunter Valley in 1992. In Bathurst, this young pilot died trying to land his aircraft in fog. Their jobs are a valuable way of getting their hours up. They fly alone, at night, so often in bad weather, on very tight deadlines. The Civil Aviation Authority says it has no role to further regulate the conditions under which they fly or their schedules. Lee Hatcher, 7 Nightly News.
Britain is braced for another IRA blitz following a daring mortar attack at Heathrow Airport. 4 shells were fired onto the busy runways in an apparent act of defiance over British anti-terrorism laws.
The mortars were loaded into long tubes and fired from a parked car in the Excelsior Hotel right next to Heathrow.
Flames just shooting everywhere.
The power of the blast set surrounding cars in the hotel car park ablaze. 4 shells had lobbed 400 metres onto Heathrow's northern runway area, which has aircraft landing and departing every 2 minutes. A packed Concorde jet had landed only minutes before the blast. The potential for disaster was enormous. The mortars were launched across the crowded A4 thoroughfare and right above Heathrow Police Station. The mortars were fired as MPs prepared to vote on anti-terrorism laws in the Commons. The government immediately called for a collective resolve against such acts.
There could be no more appropriate moment for displaying that unity than in the aftermath of the attack which I have just announced.
The vote was carried, but many believe this may have been an IRA warning to the British government. It's a blow to the recent Anglo-Irish Accord. The last mainland mortar attack was aimed at number 10 Downing Street 3 years ago during the Gulf War. In London, Mike Smithson, 7 Nightly News.
Facing their last chance for compensation, Sydney's bushfire victims have lashed out at what they call a double tragedy. The deadline for relief applications closes tomorrow, but those who've already sought help have launched an angry blast at the Relief Committee.
8 weeks on and hundreds of fire victims still have nothing. Now time is running out.
They've just made a total mess of it, compounded the trauma that we've been through.
Of the $12 million available, only half has been handed out, and only to uninsured victims.
As in all other disasters, priority goes to those who need to be assisted to get back into housing.
But residents say it just hasn't happened.
And people seem to be being fooled that the people that have no insurance are being taken care of, and they're not. None of us are.
Many residents say a flat rate for the insured and uninsured would have prevented much distress and anxiety.
Everyone's been hurt in one way or another, and perhaps in some respects there's been a double disaster, not only the fire, but the way that the funds were carved up.
Victims have been promised a cheque in the mail by the middle of next week, but it's unlikely to end the bitter disillusionment.
I wouldn't give my money to a charity. I would go and find a victim and give it to them.
Susan Elliott, 7 Nightly News.
And some of our furry friends badly injured by the bushfires are going home. 2 koalas, one with a baby in her pouch, were set free near Port Stephens today after 2 months of intensive care. They're among 18 animals treated by the Native Animals Trust Fund for burns and smoke inhalation. The National Parks and Wildlife Service will track them with radio collars. Others will be released as their wounds heal. Ahead in 7 News, a bold business plan to create more jobs and the drugs that help us to get smart.
Waking up to the consequences.
Look, son, you're in a bit of trouble.
Can anyone break through to Tug?
You don't care about anyone but yourself.
And is Cupid about to strike?
Thinking about coming here permanently, actually.
Hearts in a frenzy. Home and Away tonight.
Vincent van Gogh, genius or madman? How did he see the world? And why did he paint what he did, the way he did? Find out in part 1 of The Great Artists. It has page after page of his paintings and fascinating insights into the forces that drove him. With fine art prints and art postcards to collect, Van Gogh is the first in a weekly series on the world's great artists, and part 1 costs just 95 cents.
Before you build your new home, talk to Blue Ribbon Homes. They can supply one of their multi-award-winning single-storey, split-level, two-storey and attic owner-builder packages so you can build your own home. Or Blue Ribbon Homes will build it for you to lock up stage or completion on your land.
Style and fashion, the Park Beach Plaza experience.
Warm up this winter with great new fashions from Park Beach Plaza. Fashion for smart day, casual, after 5 and formal. All at Park Beach Plaza. With so many stores to choose from, you'll feel totally individual. Park Beach Plaza, bringing you the best in winter fashion with centre stage parades daily.
Style and fashion, the Park Beach Plaza experience.
Save, save, save on super savings at Woolworths. Like cans of Schweppes soft drinks only 40 cents each, and packs of 9 Wondersoft toilet tissue just $3.98.
We're the Woolworths fresh food people with super savings for you.
Beatty's Carpets, with more carpets and vinyls displayed in their biggest showrooms. Quality hard-wearing carpet from $59 a metre laid, includes underlay. Set of car mats only $10. Cork only $19.95 a square metre. Beautifully sculpted cut loop carpet, great range of colours from $77 a metre laid. Range of Berber wool blend from $75 a metre laid on quality underlay. Great value at Beatty's Carpets. Look for the signs on the Pacific Highway south of Nambucca.
Another high-speed police chase through Sydney's suburbs last night, this time on the upper North Shore. The pursuit ended when this stolen utility ploughed into traffic lights at Wahroonga. 5 teenagers were arrested and charged with a number of offences, including car theft and breaking and entering. A bitter reaction today from victims of the 1989 Nyngan flood after losing a Supreme Court claim for compensation.
It's 4 years since the record-breaking Nyngan floods. Today, the Supreme Court declared no one was to blame for the devastation. A verdict which has angered 700 residents who had hoped for financial compensation. They vow to keep fighting.
Oh yes, my word we are. We're determined to.
The residents had alleged the Bogan Council and the Water Resources Commission failed to build an adequate flood levy. But Justice Cole said the council acted in good faith. The levee banks were never designed to defeat such an unforeseen flood. The Nyngan Group isn't giving up. They're going to appeal, and they also want a parliamentary inquiry into the Water Resources Commission.
The ratepayers believe the Water Resources Commission have misled the Nyngan people and the people of New South Wales and the Parliament in their report.
Residents say it's only the expense of the case which could eventually defeat them. Steve Barnes, 7 Nightly News.
Following Sydney's spate of pigeon poisonings, the cruel destruction of 200 swallows in the city's west today. The birds had to be put down after they became trapped in a sticky anti-pest gel.
The stranded, struggling swallows were discovered in a shopping centre car park near Dural. Police, fire brigade and the RSPCA began the rescue.
Birds were stuck by their claws and they were also stuck wing to wing.
By this morning, about 150 of the 200 birds were dead.
The RSPCA began trying to clean the gel from the survivors, but as the day wore on, the birds became even more stressed.
This afternoon, it was decided only 2 or 3 could be saved. A pest control company who's admitted spraying the gel is being asked who employed them. The gel is usually sprayed on ledges, making them too slippery for pigeons to land. But the smaller swallows simply became entangled in it. In the wake of recent pigeon poisonings, the RSPCA says too many people are acting without thought.
Using substances which haven't been thought out are cruel, and deciding that to hell with how the bird feels or what way it dies.
The RSPCA says it won't be tolerated. Tony Rankin, 7 Nightly News.
Business, unions and the federal government are mobilising to ease the lot of Australia's long-term jobless. The relief operation comes as the latest figures show that the number out of work is at its lowest level in almost 2 years.
Australia's business chiefs at a Sydney summit today embraced the need to help the long-term unemployed. BHP suggested a new subsidised jobs program, the building of community facilities and beautification projects to provide not only jobs but training.
We could generate a number of jobs that would be useful to the community and would allow people to get used to working again.
The government welcomed the idea as extremely encouraging.
Here we have the largest company in the country prepared to commit to a partnership with government and the unions.
For its part, the ACTU will accept a lower training wage and called on members to identify
where there is potential to create job opportunities for the long-term unemployed.
Today's developments indicate consensus is developing to help Australia's 300,000 long-term unemployed as the government finalises its jobs compact for unveiling next month. More good news on the jobs front today. While the national unemployment rate remains static at 10.5%, jobless numbers actually fell in most states. And almost 40,000 new jobs were created in February, most filled by women. In Canberra, John Wiseman, 7 Nightly News.
Overseas, carnage in a German courtroom when a man bombed a small town trial, killing himself and 6 other people. The killer went berserk after losing an appeal against a fine for beating his former girlfriend. He shot the judge, then exploded a bomb hidden in his rucksack. His mother and girlfriend were among the dead. In England, a 9th body has been dug up in Gloucester's House of Horrors. The excavations are threatening to bring down the building. Today, concrete was poured in to shore up the foundations. Police have slammed London bookmakers who are taking bets on the final death toll. And bizarre court testimony in Ohio from a woman who claims that she faints at the mere mention of sex. As if to prove her point, she collapsed 4 times on the stand. She's accused a 42-year-old man of taking advantage of her condition to sexually assault her. Back home, a warning that powerful drugs used to treat mental illness are being abused by people trying to boost their intelligence. Psychiatrists say so-called smart drugs are on the way, but the effects of some pills now being used may be imaginary and dangerous.
Your IQ is a matter of luck and good breeding. But now science is trying to improve the odds with pills that are claimed to boost brain power. They're called smart drugs, terminology that may be premature, but not by much.
I don't really think there is such a thing as a smart drug, but I can tell you, John, that drugs are getting smarter.
Among the leading contenders, Prozac, a drug widely prescribed for depression. But many perfectly healthy people are also popping Prozac, swearing it makes them brighter and more confident, a trend that alarms professionals.
A lot of these drugs are very potent, dangerous drugs.
One traditional way to kickstart your brain has been a cup of strong coffee.
But now some fruit juice with a South American herb called guarana has replaced it. It's a smart drink with the name of Sunrise. Would you drink it?
Thousands do. Guarana has become the hip herb in so-called smart bars and nightclubs all over town.
Perky drink.
Really good.
More awake, more alive. It's all natural, there's no chemicals in it.
The question about smart drugs, are people kidding themselves?
And people like taking things that they think will make them feel better. And often they do make them feel better, mainly because they think they're going to make them feel better.
Dr. John Darcy, 7 Nightly News.
Sport is next with Cameron Williams. A change of scenery for our much-maligned cricketers.
Yes, Roger, the sun was shining on them today, but it might not be all over yet for Merv Hughes. And Swans coach Ron Barassi, optimistic about the Dermot Brereton suspension.
I think people will be very sympathetic, as whichever way you look at it, it's a hard call on the penalty.
8:30 tonight, a young woman's night alone becomes a night of terror she'll never forget when police say she became the victim of a shocking crime. And a hit and run, a tragic accident or cold-blooded murder. Australia's Most Wanted tonight.
was nice doing business with you, son.
Yeah, same here. Say, you hungry?
Yeah, you bet.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Well, then it's snack time. No, thanks, Righty. Thanks a lot.
Save, save, save on super savings at Woolworths. Like Palmolive 5-pack, only $1.98. And 1.5 kilo Biozet, just $6.79.
We're the Woolworths fresh food people with super savings for you.
It's the super final summer sale at Kakadu Clothing and RJ's. There's Howard Showers, Ping Pong, Malika, Quicksilver, Billabong, Kerry McGee and Hot Tuna. Up to 50% off. It's on this weekend only. The final summer sale at Kakadu Clothing and RJ's Bellinger.
Tee off at the Lismore Golf Club. Enjoy the 18-hole championship golf course with special men's and ladies' days. There's a superb pro shop with practical advice and goods to improve your game. The 19th hole offers a variety of entertainment from superb Australian and Chinese meals in the dining room and special smorgasbord meals for only $8 a head. The function room is also available. Thursdays and Fridays, enjoy the fun of the cash and draw giveaway or the great spin and win promotions. Keep fit at the friendliest golf club around, the Lismore Golf Club.
Disgraced Sydney Swan Dermot Brereton has gone into hiding after last night's AFL hearing, where he was suspended for 7 matches on a misconduct charge. Coach Ron Barassi has slammed rumours the Swans are on the verge of dumping Brereton, but admits it does restrict their rebuilding process.
Brereton left last night's hearing shattered by the outcome. Suspended until May 20, the former Hawthorn star has gone into hiding. But, says Coach Ron Barassi, the Swans are behind him.
It's a hard call, but clubs are partly judged on their loyalty to their players and the way they support them, and quite rightly so. So we'll be in there backing him to the hilt.
Brereton was an integral part of Barassi's plans to rebuild the Swans' image and reputation.
Dermy, are you ready for your first season with the Sydney Swans?
Brass, I can't wait to get out there.
But Brereton will have to wait after being suspended for the 7th time.
You can't build on just one person anyway, and we always knew this.
In rugby league, former Rapido Rod Maben believes he's hit the jackpot by joining St George in the off-season.
Well, I just want to start off well to take a lot of the pressure off my shoulders. You know, I feel like there's a fair bit of pressure on me. A lot of people are looking at me, expecting me to have a big year and everything.
Filling the void left by retired captain Mick Potter, Maben will relish the chance to shine in a star-studded backline.
With good players around me, they could probably help me help my game to develop a little bit more. You know, if I do what I was doing at South, and those players could probably help me do a bit more.
Andy Raymond, 7 Nightly News.
The Australian Cricket Board is waiting on a report from team management before deciding whether to take further action against Merv Hughes. As pressure grows to send Hughes home, Shane Warne has admitted he regrets his angry outburst during the first test.
The breathtaking Sun City backdrop was as impressive as Big Merv's efforts to distract Tim May on the putting green.
Shot.
After their dramas in the first test, the pair had hoped to relax in this millionaire's playground.
We're trying to take the frustrations out in the golf course, but it's just not working. It's just getting more wound up.
8 balls and 2 holes, not bad.
Just hours after hearing about the $4,000 in extra fines following his Wanderers outburst, Warne says he now regrets letting the fans get to him.
You shouldn't let those sort of things get to you, but sometimes they sort of do, and things just get a bit on top of you and all that sort of stuff. But, we all, I think, hurt and everything after tests.
The mood in the Aussie camp was surprisingly jovial, but their 2 days R&R was never a certainty. With near civil war breaking out just 20 minutes drive from Sun City, there was some reluctance from the Australians to even come here. But after they'd had a look around, no one wanted to leave. The opulence here has to be seen to be believed. A world-class hotel, 2 championship golf courses, and some huge betting plunges.
50,000 rand on the first hole or second?
I think we're playing that skins, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Per hole.
Per hole.
So he's probably got the potential to win about 5 million rand today.
In Sun City, Brent Rees, 7 Nightly News.
It'd be good if they kept their sledging to the golf course.
Yeah, much better attitude, that is. I agree with you.
Yeah, that was good fun.
Thanks, Cameron. Dry and warm tomorrow, all the weather next. And then birthday celebrations for every girl's dream girl.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
I've got to hand it to the boss. He said to me, Rusty, let's nip down to the big one early. We'll be there hours before every other mug shows up.
Where did you learn how to make that?
showed you how to get that effect? Where did you get that idea from? Published in weekly parts, Creating Your Home helps you choose different colour schemes and different room styles and shows you how to put a room together, right down to the smallest detail. It also shows you lots of ways of giving your home a more personal touch, with all the know-how and instructions you'll need. Don't miss part 1 of Creating Your Home, on sale now.
Hey, Bo, what do you want for your birthday? I wouldn't mind selling a few tyres.
Bo's big birthday sale. Tyres at unbeatable prices. Call 132381 for your nearest Bo Repairs store.
With their $16.92 large pizzas for the one low price. Or for $12.90, any 2 regular pizzas for the one low price. And for a feast, any 2 family pizzas for only $23.90. And there's more. You can now choose from 3 delicious sauces. Traditional tomato, tangy barbecue, or hot and spicy. Pizza Haven's 2 pizzas for the one low price specials. Dial 131 2 for 1 now for delivery or pickup.
Save, save, save on super savings at Woolworths. Like CSR 2 kilo sugar canisters $2.99 and Dynamo 1.5 litre liquid and pre-treated just $3.89.
We're the Woolworths fresh food people with super savings for you.
Sarah gives Tug the dressing down of his lifetime. The action's hot, the romance hotter still. In Home and Away, next on Prime.
And lingering uncertainties keeping buyers sidelined on the share market. The All Ordinaries finished the day just 8 points up. Gold was also up, but our dollar was down. Well, warm offshore winds led to a mostly sunny day in Sydney today, with temperatures reaching 29 in the city and 30 around Liverpool. The satellite pictures show clouds swirling around a low in eastern Bass Strait and tropical storm clouds in the Gulf of Carpentaria. The low east of Bass Strait will move to the east, causing winds to tend more southerly over New South Wales. There'll be a few showers in Melbourne and Hobart tomorrow, with a late storm in Darwin. And in Sydney, after a cool night, tomorrow will be dry and warm, but a coastal shower or 2 is likely later as winds tend southerly. Top temperatures, 26 in the city, 28 westwards, and air pollution levels will be low. Coastal showers are likely over the weekend, with clearing weather on Monday. And finally, special birthday celebrations for an ageless supermodel.
5,